And I'm alive. Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. So, sorry for being a tad late, had some things that delayed stream for a bit, and I was waiting to actually get some food first, since I usually stream after I eat, so, you know, just because I don't like having to potentially halt stream because I, you know, need dinner. But I've eaten, I have breakfast tacos, or I had breakfast tacos, and now we're all good to finish Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow for real this time, because last we left off on this, I kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place, trying to essentially, you know, fight a boss that I was, one, a bit underleveled for, and two, did not have any healing items to win against. So yeah, that was where we left off on that. So if you can see towards the right, I did level up quite a lot, around 10 levels or so. And most of that is because I also decided off stream, on top of getting healing items for myself, I also really wanted to get more upgraded weapons, specifically for the longsword, since it's what my preferred moveset is for this game. And after genuinely about 3-4 hours of me soul grinding my ass off in order to get the right one, I did it. I got Calidbolg after grinding the Iron Golem and the Archdemon. And let me tell you, grinding those goddamn souls was so awful. It was a nightmare. Like, the Iron Golem can only take 1 damage aside from 1 or 2 attacks that you have to get specific weapons or souls for. So that wasn't fun. I managed to speed the process up a bit by selecting proper souls to do multiple amounts of 1-hit damage or 1 damages, but yeah, that took a while. And then Archdemon was about as long, not so much because of the amount of damage I was doing. I killed them pretty easily. It was more like because due to them being later game enemies, their souls just don't drop frequently. So I was getting more items off of them than I was their soul, and I was like, good lord, how long is this gonna take me? It took me a long time, but we got the weapon, we're upgraded, we have levels, I have healing items, important thing, and now we're gonna be going back to Abaddon and fighting him, which I desperately want to do, because something else that I also realized, or thought I ought to at least start doing now, is if I'm fighting a fight, if I'm fighting a boss and I get to the magic seal part and I bungle the magic seal section, and it's like an extenuating circumstance of me nearly dying, I think just for my own sanity, I may want to rewind that, since I have the feature available. And plus, I feel like for this game it makes sense, since, you know, nobody likes the magic seal feature. It is the one thing about this game that is utterly just, it's just gimmicky, you know? Like, it's not as egregious here as it was on the DS original, from what I remember playing of it, but it's still pretty bad when your potential to win a fight is judged by whether or not you can get the damn sigil to get fully formed. It sucks. Ooh, I'm angry. He angry. There. Oh god, please do not do this. Oh my god. What? Guard? Huh? Oh my god. Do I have an anti-venom? I do. Oh, please. Alright, fuck this thing. This thing, no. Not worth it. Totally not worth it. And you know what? Just to fill out the percentage of completion, let's go ahead and get the rest of the map done if we can help it. But yeah, the upgraded weapon is really nice to have as well, since, as you can see, it's doing its work. It's appropriately taking care of these guys in terms of the levels. Also, Jesus God. So chat, I suppose since we've got some time before I head back to the boss that I was stuck on, the Game Awards happened, and I've kind of kept myself at a distance from the Game Awards because a lot of time in prior years I never really felt like they were really true to the vision that they keep trying to preach about, because it's no secret that a lot of people make fun of the Game Awards for multitude of reasons, and it definitely did not, its image was not really helped last year, especially last year. Last year's Game Awards in 2023 was a laughably awful affair. It was just one of those things that nobody really felt good about afterwards, in terms of more like how the winners of the awards were even treated, not even just the awards themselves, which I don't put really any stock into those awards, because I'd rather just let the interest in the games or the game's own merits speak for themselves, as opposed to putting some kind of arbitrary statue next to it and saying, yes, see, it won this fancy looking statue, so it's definitely worth your time playing. And I just sit here being like, well, I'll judge that myself. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And what doesn't help that matter, and this goes for all award shows, by the way, not just the Game Awards, it's just due to the amount of production that goes into the Game Awards, that one tends to be the big one that everybody pays attention to, and also because a lot of the trailers get shown are a primary reason to view it as well. Now, personally, I found that the trailers this year, after I had seen the cliff notes of everything, was kind of lacking. Like, yes, we got some cool announcements like an Okami sequel, a new Onimusha game. Apparently, with the creation of this new Okami game, Hideki Kamiya has created a new team called Clovers and is now working with Capcom again, which is kind of a weird return for him, considering Cloverworks, I think, was the studio that he originally had when they first made Okami back in the 2000s on the PS2. So, yeah, I just... What an interesting era we live in, where Hideki Kamiya is back with Capcom again. So, yeah, I mean, if that's the direction that's going to be taken, then sure, I suppose. But yeah, it's neat that another Onimusha game's being made. I don't know when the last one was, but it's happening. It's a thing. Regarding other announcements, I genuinely couldn't tell you. As I said, I paid little to no attention towards the Game Awards itself. I just opted to not watch them. And if anything, I found it funny how after everything was done, another Game Awards style live stream happened, but focused more on the indie game scene, since there was no indie game there was no indie game trailer as far as I know. No, wait, I lied. There was one indie game, I think, that was showcased at the Game Awards, but I don't know. It just didn't really seem like it was an indies event kind of thing, you know? And it never really is, because guess what? If you want to be a part of Jeff Keighley's little circle of special games that get their 15 minutes of fame, you gotta pay real top dollar money in order to actually do that, which is kind of bullshit, you know? It's pretty awful, but hence that in turn ended up creating a live stream called The Game Awards for Games That Can't Afford the Game Awards. Or is it Who Can't Afford the Game Awards? I think that's who, but yeah, essentially it's an award show that was created out of, I guess, for the need to parody the Game Awards and to kind of take the piss out of them too for not really showing any attention to indie devs, since they can't really afford the cost necessary to have a trailer be showcased or even be awarded anything at all. So that's really funny. I found that funny, and I haven't seen what all won, but I learned that Sorry We're Closed won something, which is really awesome and much deserved because Sorry We're Closed is pretty good. It's really awesome. And I learned that apparently some stuff was announced through that, which is also pretty neat. So if you want to go check it out, their live stream is on YouTube. You can watch the entire thing there. But I didn't see it because I was just so burned out from having to hear about award shows and what games got what in terms of awards, and I just was like, no, I'd rather spend my time focusing on something else. This fucker was so stubborn about giving me a soul. But I have his soul now, which is good. But yeah, the situation with that was a lot of, it almost felt like a lot of the people involved with the Game Awards were also taking the piss out of them. Like having that, those two Muppet guys, something in Staffen and Waldorf. It was something in Waldorf. Like they were making fun of the award show. I think one of the executives for Larian, who, you know, they won Game of the Year with Baldur's Gate 3 last year. He was apparently criticizing the Game Awards to an extent, and it would make sense considering that theirs was one of the major speeches that got cut for that classic "Please Wrap It Up" last year. And it's all of that shit combined that made me realize, like, yeah, Jeff Keighley tries to pretend that the Game Awards and his shows are some kind of massive leap forward to legitimize games as an art form, but gaming already kind of is legitimized by just having the games exist, you know? So trying to imitate the Oscars to legitimize them is just, no. Like, because nobody really respects the Oscars either. Nobody really cares. Nobody really gives a shit about those award shows aside from the spectacle. And that's really all that's there, is just the spectacle and the shit that gets announced there. Nobody's there for the actual awards, and anybody that does care, like, it's not that it's a bad thing to care about the accolades. It's a bad thing to think the accolades are all that speaks to the quality of the game or the movie or the show or what have you. Like, yeah, it looks pretty like having that seal looks good on a box art, but it's not exactly, but it's not what people really want to have be the only marketing push that a game can have, you know? And apparently there was some real presumptuous attitude during the, or not, like post Game Awards, there's been some presumption that happened. So, Black Myth Wukong, a Souls-like that a lot of people enjoyed. I didn't play it myself because I was too busy really loving Lies of P. And what I had learned is that apparently one of the executives that was representing the devs for that game had shown up, and they had a award speech written out in the event that they won Game of the Year, which, you know, I think is a tad presumptuous regarding that the Game Awards, you know, despite having the Game Awards got some general biases regarding what games end up winning, I feel. And the guy that wrote that had a pre-written speech was mad. He was mad that they didn't win. And I was like, buddy, just because your game got nominated doesn't mean you'll win. That's like, I don't know. I just think that it was very silly of them to write up a acceptance speech and then get angry when you don't win. It's, again, presumptuous is the word of the day for that. Ooh, Mana Prism. So, yeah, lesson to take away from this little talk is Game Awards were dumb. honestly didn't care. It sounded like there were some bits that weren't funny. The funniest things that seemed to have come out of the Game Awards was that Todd Howard is apparently quite short, and Harrison Ford was there, most likely to act as like the Indiana Jones representation, which didn't really do anything for me because, and y'all can feel free to damn me for this in the comments, VOD watchers. I've only seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That is my only Indiana Jones movie I've ever seen. Feel free to judge. I was a kid when that movie came out. It was something my folks saw, I think, and I just watched it with them. I have not seen any other Indiana Jones movie besides that, so no nostalgia there for me. Just seeing Harrison Ford be old and sick of everybody's shit, which seems to be kind of his deal right now. He's just kind of old and tired of everything. Yeah, in any case, that's kind of it. It was that, the Todd Howard thing. God, what else was there? There was a Staten and Waldorf thing, but mostly because they were making fun of Jeff Keighley. It's not even just like, it wasn't even just that nobody took it seriously. It was also that some announcements were also kind of not good either. There was apparently this cat game. I'm not gonna say the name of the game, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know, that seemed to, or not seems, it is actually confirmed to have been made using AI art, which is disgusting and awful. And as I said, comes across as disingenuous when, you know, Jeff Keighley talks about the integrity of the industry and how great games is as an art form. And then apparently at one point, if I remember right, he talked about how bad all of the layoffs and shit had been over Summer Games Fest. And then he fucking lets that game get promoted. And I'm like, what the fuck, Jeff? Decide on a goddamn thing you want gaming to be. Again, like disingenuous. That is the way I would describe his show. It's disingenuous and just truly doesn't grasp, it. He just doesn't. He doesn't really have like, And, you know, as per usual, people kept saying like, yeah, it was just mostly ads with 5 awards really given special attention. Apparently even some awards that had gotten speeches before didn't get them this year, which is really awful. You know, you'd expect to be able to give some time to the floor to people that worked super hard on something for a game, whether it be the accessibility features, the soundtrack, the action mechanics. Just, yeah. So with all of that in mind, I opted to not watch it. I instead hung out and tried to stay warm because it was quite cold, and I don't remember what I played, but I was playing something. But yeah, that was not a time that I was like in the mood to watch that kind of show. It just wasn't. So yeah, like as much as that can tend to attract audiences, I don't feel like laughing. I was not in the mood to laugh at Jeff Keighley's stuff or to roll my eyes. I was not in the mood for it in any capacity. I remember another announcement. So apparently Team Ico is working on a new game, and it's sci-fi themed this time, which is gonna be a change for them, I feel, because all of their prior games had been more fantasy themed. So having a sci-fi theme to their next game is gonna be interesting. It was that, Okami, Onimusha, the new Team Ico game, and I think it's just called Project Robot for now. They'll probably have something else out. Oh, I remember! A new RGG Studios game. The devs for Yakuza have a new IP that they're working on. And I know it's a new IP because the engine, or the way that the gameplay style looked from the trailer we saw, it does not look like it plays like any of their other games, whether it's Like a Dragon with Ichiban or the Yakuza series with Kiryu. or even the pirate game with Majima. No, this is a new IP, and it ain't like Judgment where it's a new series that's in the same universe as Yakuza. No, this is different. I think it was just called Project Century, and it's taking place during 1915 in Japan, which, different setting. I like the look of it. I've always liked that particular era of Japan, and I think I'm definitely gonna give it a try because I am a fan of their stuff. I like the Yakuza series a lot, and I heard some opinions about how maybe RGG is kind of doing a lot of projects at once that's kind of being a bit much. But here's what I say to that. One of the problems of the games industry right now, and I mean one of the myriad of issues that's going on with higher dev teams in AAA studios, or even not like super huge studios, but huge. One of the problems with larger game studios in general is that most of the time they try to keep innovating to be bigger and better and have some continual growth where they want huge figures and sales, huge budgets to make huge games that have bloated file sizes, and generally just want everything to be bigger. And they just don't know how to scale it down in the event of wanting to have something smaller release. RGG Studios is a studio that is more about having smaller things in between their more ambitious projects, according to, their release history. They've done this kind of thing before where they've had large Yakuza game releases, and then in between those major releases, they have something that's a bit smaller. And I admire them for that. I really do, because it means that they aren't going to rest on their laurels of this one franchise and then keep having year-long dev cycles where they're trying to make the game bigger and better. They instead go like, hey, between Yakuza 8, or between Like a Dragon 8 and between Project Century, how about we give you a little Majima pirate game to tide you over? Between Yakuza's 7 and Like a Dragon 8, how about we give you Like a Dragon Gaiden, where we give Kiryu one of the most heartbreaking finales to one of his games that he's ever had. And not heartbreaking, more like bittersweet. And they even had that with Dead Souls way back in the day. They had that with Ishin back in the day. Like, those were games that were more or less spin-offs, and they use the spin-offs in order to help tide people over and also build up sales so that they can keep funding the larger projects. Because if you just keep making big project after big project, inevitably you may end up having one of your big projects flop. And if your big projects flop without any kind of security from below regarding your, smaller projects, you're likely going to end up closing down. It'll be a Concord situation where you just throw a huge thing out that you spend millions of dollars on and tons of hours to make, like days, hours, years, in the case of Concord, launch to a flop, and then suddenly your studio is shut down. RGG's at the very least smarter than that, and is like, yes, we're going to instead release smaller things in between our big things so that our big things, if they flop, don't cause our studio to go into bankruptcy. So there we go. That's my thoughts. Like, I'm excited to try Project Century because this seems like a truly new thing for them. Like, this isn't like Judgment where it takes place in the same world, and it's not like a Yakuza spin-off where they're going to change the gameplay up a little bit or have us play as a new protagonist. As much as I love Ichiban and everything, this is something new, and I'm excited to give that a go. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Was there anything else? That's my thoughts on that one. Witcher 4, I forgot about that too. Witcher 4. Also, we have an ad coming up in about 4 minutes. I'm kind of hesitant about Witcher 4 because, for those that don't know, I am a fan of the Witcher sort of franchise. I've read all of the books. I have played Witcher 3 twice, or I'm on a second playthrough of Witcher 3. I haven't played 1 and 2, but considering that 1 is slated to get a remake, I'd rather play that remake than play the original Witcher 1 because apparently both that and Witcher 2 have some pretty damningly bad bugs. So, yeah, I've got my fair share of Witcher fan stuff. I've got some Witcher stonks, as they say. And after the ending of 3, well, after one of the endings of 3, I could conceivably see how they could go in the direction of Ciri being the protagonist and everything, but I am hesitant about it for the reasons as follows. 1, CD Projekt Red, despite recovering with that update they provided to Cyberpunk that finally turned it into the game that it should have, lost a lot of goodwill due to the amount of shit that happened in those days when Cyberpunk was out. And I mean initially out back in 2020. It was not good. It was the pariah of that. Like, it was a huge problem for that studio because so much stuff came out about the crunch, even though they promised no crunch. So much shit came out about how they released a game that just did not work on prior generation consoles. It was just a shit show for them, and they tried their best to try and explain why they released the game in the state it was in, but damage is done. You know, the initial impressions of your reputation are going to be hard to recover after that kind of fallout. We've seen that with a lot of games that launched to absolute lambasting, but somehow recover. We have that with No Man's Sky. But in CD Projekt Red's case, this Witcher 4 announcement feels less like they may have another story to tell with Ciri, but more like they are not wanting to take another major chance. They may not want to do much else right now and just fall back on the thing that people liked them for. And I talked about RGG Studios in a similar way of that, but this is different because unless Witcher 4 is just meant to be a spin-off, this seems like it's their next super huge project. And what I'm scared of is that it may end up, you know, flopping or releasing unfinished, and they once again lose out on a lot of public favor. And it's odd because the thing is, I would love to have Ciri be playable. I would like that. I like the ideas that they've got for this potential Witcher 4. But that announcement just didn't leave me feeling super enthusiastic for a lot of the things that were there. Oh shit. Oops. No.
Well, all right. Look at all that.
I did not mean to hit something by accident. Sorry, I clicked on a notification to try and get it off my phone, and it started playing something. Not anything bad, just, yeah. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. But our ad break's starting soon. I'll continue my thoughts in a moment. Just let me put on the BRB, and I'll continue soon. So be right back, everyone. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. And sorry again about the phone playing audio. I genuinely was not expecting audio to start playing out on my phone when I checked that notification. I was like, what is the Discord thing about? And no, it's just like, it was some kind of notification for a movie night in one of the servers I'm in. So yeah, oops. But lesson learned. My bad. All right, so I was on Witcher 4. So if it turns out to be good, I think I'll end up getting it because I am a Witcher fan. And if the story ends up being good, that'd be even better. But I'm not really holding my breath on that game at all because, one, it was a cinematic trailer. It was a cinematic trailer that showed no gameplay. It just showed Ciri slaying a monster in a cave because the village was planning on sacrificing somebody to said monster. I liked how it looked and the choreography of it was cool, but I don't know. Like, it's not the first time The Witcher's ever had any kind of pre-rendered animation for a hype trailer thing. I think it had it for Witcher 2 as well. I don't know about Witcher 3, but I know Witcher 2 had it. And I was just thinking, oh, well, if the cinematic trailer shows me anything, it just shows me that we're playing as Ciri, and that's it. I don't know where Geralt is. I don't know if Geralt's even alive. Ciri can take potions now, so she's a full-fledged Witcher, which means that one of the Witcher 3 endings is now canon. That it's not the first time that they'd have to say, like, hey, this is the more canonized version of the story now, but I don't know. Some people will feel certain ways about their favorite ending maybe not being the canon one. But I'm not going to speak for that. It's just one of those things we'll have to see how it goes. And as for the release window, I really hope they do not do the same mistake they did with Cyberpunk, because they made a lot of mistakes with Cyberpunk, but the major mistake at hand that caused it to truly release in the state that it was the fact that executive meddling caused it to come out in the state that it did. And I just hope that now with all of that history with Cyberpunk now under their knowledge, they learn from this to be better about it. Whether or not they do so, I'm not sure, because in the end, companies a lot of times don't end up learning lessons very frequently, but CD Projekt have proven that they want to at least be better about how they do their development process. So I'm tentative about Witcher 4. I'm tentatively keeping an eye on how things develop with that. So that's that. That's my opinion on The Witcher 4. I don't remember. I mean, because I didn't watch the show live, I didn't really see any of the major trailers that people were talking about live because, again, I did not want to spend my 2 hours of my evening watching Jeff Keighley's show. I think another thing was Clive getting added as Tekken 8. That was a big one, I think. And I'm like, cool. I'm not a Tekken person, though. I don't play fighting games, so doesn't really affect me much. I mean, neat that Clive's getting added. That's the second time now, I think, a Final Fantasy character has been added to a Tekken game. I think the guy from 15 was added into Tekken 7 or 8? No, not 8. 7 or 6. So, yeah, that's just kind of it. That's my thoughts on the Game Awards. Still feels like a disingenuous showcase of Jeff Keighley advertising to us a whole bunch and then having awards on the side like a really, really tiny side of fries. Like the most frozen ass looking fries ever is the actual awards, and the entree is the ads. That's it. So there we go. That's my thoughts. Game Awards, not my thing. The Game Awards for games that can't afford the Game Awards, probably a better use of your time to see the indie games that were showcased there and also some that might have been announced. I just think the concept of it was funny because it seems like it was genuinely made by people that wanted to take the piss out of the Game Awards themselves and also genuinely help indie games, which is always a good cause. So, yeah. But that's it. Let's get to fighting this guy, shall we? All right. New weapon, over 10 levels stronger. Let's see how we do this time. Oh God, did you hear that? That was my neck. Ugh. Potions, delicious potions. That delicious blue raspberry look. Because yes, I'm, oh. I need to, hold on. I fucking hate these things so much. I gotta practice. Okay. Have to practice the magic seal. X, L, Y, B, A, R, X, Y, R, B, X. So it's like if they just gave you extra time or something. Hold on, I'm gonna rewind. Never mind. Shit. Almost. I almost have it. There. Compared to the obscene amount of time it took me to fight him last time, this time, squashing you like a bug. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's save, since I don't have to deal with him anymore. Yeah, a little bit of scuff, but we did it. We got through, which I'm happy about. I really did not enjoy that boss fight. It felt like I had little to no method of being able to make it out of there well. At all. How many more bosses do I have to fight through, though? That's the big question. Pinkman. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, is that a panther? Attack with a tail. What is that? Was that a... That's a Kotetsu. Okay. Oh my god. It's Shadow from Devil May Cry 5. It's the panther. There. Move at high speed while creating a shockwave. Wait, is this my super dash? Oh, well, could I have gotten that sooner? Fuck, I would have loved to get that sooner. Oh well. Oh. Oh, dang it. God dang it. Oh, Jesus. Piss off. All right. Yeah, sorry for the major rant about the Game Awards. It just feels awful when you hear all this posturing about how great games are as a medium, and then you just see it devolve into this ad-riddled mess, and it just sucks. It sucks. It's awful, and frankly, Like, I'm glad I've more or less stopped really giving a fuck about the whole affair. I genuinely, because I don't see myself really wanting to dedicate any more energy or time to, like, any more time or energy to giving a shit about that. Like, at most, maybe the best it will do is announce that some good sales are gonna happen for some big games, and that's it. But the thing is, big games, most people are not really feeling the big releases unless it's from some of the devs that more or less that are more or less better than what you typically get from your Sonys or what have you. So, yep. Probably got another save room at some point. That would be kind of sick. All right, that's a dead Schneil. Oh, come on, I feel like I could reach that. Yes! Just be patient. Come on, don't you dare. It's to the right here. Oh, so we do get a warp room. Fucking what? So we get a warp room down here? God damn it. Well, good to know, I guess. Also, because we are basically in the final stretch of this game, it's more or less going to be a short stream since I'm just going to be doing the finale here. So if it ends up being around 2 hours, give or take, that's kind of the deal. Just one of those things. How are things going? I think I need to buckle down for the last dash. I'm sure you'll get through this, so how may I help you? All right. Do I do it? Do I use... You know what? Hold on. I want to see, what is the sword's full upgrade situation? Sword upgrade, Dawn of Sorrow. How far does the sword take on this? So from short sword to cutlass, to long sword to Fragrock to either the Mistletoe or the Hrunting. I went with Hrunting. Killer Clown to Julius. Then to Frozen Shade, I got the Ice Brand. To Iron Golem to the Bird Gang. To Archdemon Khalidbolg. And Abaddon to Valmanway. And that's it? That's the final up. What? How good is the Valmanway? Because I'm not gonna up, like, it gives me a downgrade on my int and my attack. Why would I get it? It's known as the Crisagrim, is a sword that means blessed wind. The wind can create an illusion of many swords being swung at... Oh, that's the benefit. Oh. Oh, no. Scratch that. This is gonna be good. I know exactly what kind of weapon this is. It's a weapon I've never found in a Castlevania game myself, but, dear chat, you'll see why. Look at that. It's a multi-hit, so it gives me probably about 4 or 5 hits in place of needing only 1. Ooh, hold on. I could also synthesize this one. Nebula. Oh, and that's it? Just them, okay. Kotetsu and Barbaric. Still can't get that. Oh well, but that's fine. How does this do? So it's more damage, but this is literally multiple hits. So Yeah, I'm sticking with this one. And I've got 2,500 gold. I can buy some healing. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. We'll buy 1 of these and 2 of these. And we may as well sell some stuff, too. We're in the end game. I'm not going to plan on bringing out more stuff out of this. 8,000. Not wearing that. Not wearing that. Not wearing that. Not wearing that. Beautiful. Do I want more mind stuff? Yeah. May as well. Use that. Okay, now we're good. Look at... That's gonna be beautiful to do. First, I'm gonna save, actually, since we have done quite a bit of stuff this way. Save game. We got a boss down and we have new upgrades, so we're pretty set. So yeah, like I noticed that when I had grinded off stream, both the levels and the weapon being like, I see that Abaddon would lower this weapon's attack. Why would I pick this? And then I see, I didn't know until I read the description. A little description would have been nice. Like just, hey, this sword does a lot of slashes in really quick succession. Would have gone a long way. Otherwise, I'd have been stuck with a different weapon. All right, so with that, we have everything we need, I think. All right. Soma? What happened? He arrived too late, quite simply. He managed to dominate a terrible demon. I tried to prevent the summoning ritual from happening, but your dark power failed to overcome the power I gained from the sacrifice. What sacrifice? Oh. Celia! Such an unseemly sight. Begone. Oh, he sacrificed her. Oh, fuck. You killed your own ally? She had always dreamed of seeing the Dark Lord. She served me to the end in my becoming. She should feel honored. Not only that, she even helped me take care of that pesky Arikado. He's right. The sacrifice reversed the flow of my powers. The stage is now set. We shall see who will dominate whom. What? This cannot be! My dominance should be complete! So that's what's happening. Arikado, what's going on? The power of dominance isn't easily contained. Dimitri isn't like you. His soul can't withstand the power that intense. Liar! I've heard enough from you! Arikado! I am the chosen one. I am the Lord Dark and the Dark Lord. I shall not succumb to the power. It's useless. You can't control it. Oh, that's a good portrait face. Oh! Oh, that's gnarly. It's, again, very interesting that this gnarly imagery also is the same game, also inhabits the same game as having Frankenstein's monster walking around. Oh my god. Oh, God, I love Castlevania. The demons under his dominance, they fused as one? Letting this out would be a disaster. It must end here. Yeah, that's like 3 attacks in one. Fuck yeah, I'm taking that. That's a big deal. Oh, okay. No to the walls. Got it. Hold on. Heal up. All right. Head smacked. So no head. Oh, yeah. That's the good shit. Oh god. Oh, I can attack his knees. Can I do the Skyrim thing? Can I do the Skyrim funny? I can do the Skyrim funny. It's really funny that I'm somehow just finding the right weak point by hitting his knee. Holy shit, how much health does his knee have? What was his leg routine if his knees can take that much punishment? Can I make it through this now? Oh god. Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Are there any other knee parts that I can take care of? Okay, no, it looks like it was just the one. Yeah, it seems like the archers are they are truly my favorite ones right now because they just have been doing so much damage. Don't you dare. No. Now what I wonder is if whether or not we have other phases to go through. Ooh, shit. Getting kind of backed in the corner here. Okay, thank God. It would suck if this fight somehow led to me getting backed into a corner and unable to move. That would be awful. All right, we have one super potion left, because I also learned that apparently the puzzle that was in the underground waterway area that had that lever test of strength thing, turns out I was supposed to use a hammer weapon on it instead of trying to get a soul that made me heavy. I did not realize that was the puzzle for that, so oops. But I know now. So I managed to get some good healing items out of that too. A high potion, a regular potion, and a super potion. You know, I'm gonna try something. Cause like, that's good, but it's not open enough for me to be using it for, you know, this particular part of the body. There we go. And Soma gets his powers back. Stop! What are you doing? This place won't hold. We have to get out. Where? Hammer and Yoko? It's finally over. We're finished here. Let's go. Soma, what's wrong? Tell me, just what does it mean to be the Dark Lord? What Celia told you wasn't necessarily wrong. The Dark Lord is the entity opposite to God. Then that means there will always be need for a Dark Lord. All because I ducked out from becoming the next in line. Don't misconstrue me. Perhaps there must be a Dark Lord, but there is no reason at all for you to become the Dark Lord. But if it weren't for me, none of this would have happened. You're neither a god nor a demon. You're only human. Like in my favorite Daft Punk song, the lyrics as they go, "You're only human, after all human." Boom. You have no chance at ever achieving perfection. Or are you saying you want to be the Dark Lord? No, of course not. Then stay true to that. Look. Ah, there they are. There are people waiting for you. Don't break their hearts. Everyone. You kept your promise. Welcome back, Soma. Looks like you're all done. Your face says it all. Arigato. You're right. Mina, what are you doing here? Of course I came here. I was so worried. Oh, Mina, I'm sorry. Don't cry. Gotcha. Welcome back, Soma. Or Soma. She'll have you wrapped around her finger. Oh, without a doubt. I'd like to be wrapped around Yoko's finger. What are you saying? Mina and I, we're not... That's right. No need to be bashful, you two. If the world needs a Dark Lord, it will emerge. Even if it's not you, Soma. This has truly been a Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Julius mode has been unlocked. Boss Rush mode has been unlocked. Sound mode unlocked. Data's been saved. Hooray! Alright, well, that was the main story of Dawn of Sorrow. So, my thoughts on this game. I liked its ideas, but what I will say about it is that it easily has what happens to be just gimmicky design at certain points, in particular the magic seals. I feel like that is truly what is holding this game back from me in terms of being a sequel to Aria of Sorrow, because Aria of Sorrow was short, sweet, had no gimmicks, and was just a solid, well-made Metroidvania. This game, while having some ideas here that I really like, also had some gimmicks that just don't really work for me at all. I like the soul synthesis stuff. I like the idea of actually using the souls of monsters that you may just be accumulating a whole lot to greater effect, like having them upgrade your weapons. That's nice. I like that. That's very good. Not much is really done as far as the shop with Hammer. It's just kind of the same standard shop. Yeah, there we go. Hikaru Midorikawa. Voice of Marth right there. And what I will say about other parts of this game is that, I don't know, I also felt this castle area to be fine in design. It's just parts of it I felt weren't the best. I liked also the idea of the cryptid hunting, but I've only been able to find the Yeti. I was only able to find the Yeti because the other ones did not really lead me to believe I could find them, since they just didn't have any clues as far as their actual locations. So yeah, kind of a rough go on that. So yeah, but me, I did it. It was me. I beat the game. So overall, if Soma were to get another adventure, I pray that it doesn't have that same kind of gimmick stuff happen. And I would love to see another adventure with Soma. I like Soma. He's a fun character, and I've always enjoyed playing in his adventures, be it Aria and this game. It's just, this game I don't see myself revisiting again, because it's just the gimmick of the magic seals, really. Like, nothing sucks more than having to pause your boss progress, and the only thing that would have really fixed it or made it not as egregious is if they just made the timer for actually getting the sigils down right longer, because you fuck up once, you take too long, you have to do a small section of the fight again, and then you can try. Instead, what it should have been is just, you know, you get to the thing and you have a really big time window, or 3 attempts to get it right. I don't know. I just think this was one where, while it was cool, the gimmickiness of the DS leaking into this did not really make it the most premium Castlevania Metroidvania experience. Not a bad one, just not one that I would say should be your first one. Aria of Sorrow, I will still hold up as one of the best ones to get into the series with, alongside Symphony of the Night. I genuinely will mean that from the hilltops, because a bit of bias, because Aria was my first one, but it's, as I said, it's a very well-designed game that doesn't have any kind of major gimmicks that keep it from breaking its pace at all. So, yeah. So that's that. You know what I want to try now that we've beaten the story faster than I expected? I want to see what Julius mode is like. Oh, I have to make a new game with that. Okay. It's like my actual handwriting IRL, guys. It's like my shit handwriting IRL. Hold on. I have to wonder if any artists that have played this will have tried to just draw a full-ass shaded portrait of themselves or something using this kind of control scheme. Input data and press B to go back. There we go. All right. So Julius mode, if I remember right, is just a mode where you play as Julius, and he doesn't have a story mode. It's instead just him exploring the castle as is. I won't spend too much time in this, but I wanted to give it a try. To control a Belmont in a Metroidvania. Oh, you don't have to. You can just pick between the sub-weapons. Okay, so we have the axe, holy water, the cross takes more. Actually, who voices Julius? I want to see that, because we looked up who Soma's voice was. And it turns out it's the actor who plays Marth. Julius Belmont voice. You, sir, were voiced in Dawn of Sorrow and in... Oh, he had a different voice in Aria of Sorrow, really. Dave Lodge for Harmony of Despair. Oh, right. Yeah, Harmony of Despair was a game. Eric Davis voiced Soma. Who have you voiced? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Michelle Ruff as Shanoa? That's funny. Well, I don't know. In the event that any Castlevania shows ever include Shanoa or Julius or Soma, I feel like I could trust whatever casting they do for that, but I just... Yeah, I forgot about Harmony of Despair. For those that don't know what that is, Harmony of Despair was like a multiplayer Castlevania game that released on Xbox Arcade back in the 360 era, I think. And it seemed to have been a good time for people, but for the most part, a lot of people just thought it was like a fun time sink, but it's not able to be played anymore, I think, because online servers are shut down. So sad fact, but oh well. So Tetsu Inada is the voice of Julius in this game. What have you been in? Oh, he's the voice of Nappa. Oh, he voiced Grius in Metaphor for the Japanese version. What else have you been in? Festiva in Grand Blue Versus. Endeavor in My Hero. Really? I don't recognize the one... Wait. Jesus Burgess. Is that the guy from... He's probably one of the gladiators in Dressrosa. The sheriff in Live Alive. That's funny. Let's see. What else have you been in? You were in Super Crooks. You were Thor in SMT 5. What else? What else do I recognize you from? Mr. One, really? Cool. From One Piece. Yeah, it's neat to see, because, like, I don't know, I just like getting to see the voices of these characters that I've really liked for so long, and they have canon voices, or they have voices for them, so I'm curious. I'm curious about what their voices are like. What else they've done. So, yeah, we have, okay, so we don't have Richter's versatility with the item crash ability, but we do have the Grand Cross skill, which seems to be just the Belmont staple. Oh, he has a double jump to start. So this is probably a more straightforward RPG kind of play as opposed to... Okay. As opposed to Soma's more explorative stuff, because we have a very limited moveset with Julius. We have no bat form, no soul collecting, we just have a double jump, a whip, and a bunch of weapons. Do we have save points? Okay, yeah, so... This is just straight up like, hey, here's Julius getting to explore the castle on his own. Okay. Now here's the major thing. Do we have to do the magic seal bullshit with Julius, like with Soma, or no? And I imagine he may get a limited version of the castle to get to play around in, considering, you know, he's, as I said, doesn't have all the exploration options that Soma gets. Well, I can't get through the bridge there, so guess this way we go. No? Okay. Never mind. And I think maybe you did get a Julius mode in Aria of Sorrow, but I feel like you only got that if you got the bad ending in Aria of Sorrow. And yes, there is a bad ending in Aria of Sorrow. I think if you lost against the Chaos final boss, you had to... Soma becomes the Dark Lord, and Julius then has to go through the castle to fight him, which is a really cool ending, in my opinion. Also, since it seems like there was no, what's the word? Oh, God. Oh, thank God I don't have to do it. And yeah, since there was no... Magic Seal, I don't have to worry about that. So this is just regular old straight adventure here. But yeah, I liked the idea of the ending for Aria of Sorrow that you can end up doing, where Julius does have to do his duty as a Belmont and confront him. It's bittersweet. Now what I wonder is, can we get different music as we go through this? Because I like this theme. I think this is Vampire Killer. I like Vampire Killer as much as the next person, but I'd also like some variety. Oh, you know what? Since Iga was brought up in the credits, that actually brings something else up that I wanted to say that seems really neat. So apparently a Bloodstained Ritual of the Night sequel is planned, and I don't know when it's gonna ever happen or come out or have any kind of official announcement, because we have actual character moments here. Yoko? Julius, how rude of you to just run off without saying a word to me. Sorry, but this is my duty. I belong to the Belmont clan after all. Well, isn't that rather insulting? We Belnades have fought alongside the Belmonts to defeat Dracula. That's true, but you don't have to bear the grief alone. People support each other. I wish you would at least trust me a little more. You're right. I'm sorry. I do have faith in you. And me in you. I have to wonder how... Oh my god, I can do it. So in some Castlevanias, you have the ability to do a funny little whip motion if you hold the attack button. It's fun. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and because we have a set moveset here, we, for certain, don't have any shop with hammer. And that also means no healing items, because trying to pause only just pauses the game. There's no healing items or anything. Okay. The downside about having no menu to check on, equipment or what have you, is that I really, really want to know what my current level is, or how many more hits I have to do to level up, and I'm just not seeing that. That's the real thing about this, that I'm like, oh man, how many more of these zombies would I have to destroy in order to do that? You know, I don't think I ever got this thing soul, but I'm not too concerned about that. So, if we have a limited scope on this castle, what is the boss loadout that Julius gets in his mode? I'm curious about that. Like, what are we working with here? Because I imagine a lot of the bosses that are available would be really hard to implement considering Julius's more limited moveset versus Soma. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright, drain the water. The water. We have to go through the bottom here. Okay, no, it's literally just Vampire Killer for the first part of the castle. That's it. All right, good to know. Wait, hold on. I just noticed Sypha's with, or not Sypha, Yoko. Oh my god. I did not, I just called her Sypha. Oops. Hold on. How do I use Yoko? Oh, that's cute. If you hit up on the, yeah, that's him prepping the sub-weapons, but he just kind of raises his arms a bit. That's fun. Again, what I like about the DS era and Game Boy Advance era of animation with pixels is just that they could include little details like that. It's really nice. Oh, I can change to Yoko! Oh. I was like, what if I just didn't hit up and something? And yeah, sure enough, there we go. What other spells have you got? Oh, you have that. So yeah, we have Yoko and Julius. Sweet, I'll take that. That does nothing for me. So at some point we're gonna get to loop around to the drawbridge again. But yeah, regarding the bad ending that you can get where Julius has to fight Soma, I don't know if that ends up being a full-fledged boss fight or if it just cuts to black because, you know, it just more or less just goes like, yeah, Julius had to fulfill his mission and it was tragic and all that. If they actually would have implemented a full-on boss fight against Soma in that kind of mode, I feel like that'd be a really baller move to do for a developer. Like, cause picture that, you know, you're controlling Soma going through the game as is, but then you get the best ending and then you also get the bad ending where he, you know, becomes Dracula, and then you're like, oh man, that was a really tragic end, and then you fight him as Julius, and Julius has all of his Belmont stuff, but Soma maybe has all of the souls of enemies that he has acquired throughout the game, and I don't know, I just think the idea is really awesome. The concept of getting to fight a prior character by way of their evil counterpart or them, you know, turning over to the dark side. I just think the concept's fun, and it makes me interested in Julius and Soma's dynamic between each other. Again, if they ever decided to do the Sorrow duology as a series for the Netflix adaptation, that'd be kind of sick. Poor Frankenstein. You used to be a boss. What happened? What happened to you, Frankenstein? Oh, it travels around on the ground this time. What are the spells you got? Light. Okay, so just lightning, fire, and ice. What does lightning do? Yeah, okay, no, that homes in a little bit. Oh yeah, you're sticking with that. Oh, and attacking gives her back some MP. Okay. Good to know. Also, we have an ad coming up in about 5 minutes, just a heads up. Well, I want to test something. Ah! I was gonna be a little cheeky and see if whether or not that could have reached. Man. Alright, so now we have a warp room. We may as well go back and save and heal, because we don't have any other healing methods. Actually, hold on. Ah, I was curious. I was wondering if they shared a health bar, and they do. So I can't change to Yoko if Julius is down and vice versa. I wonder what this game's rendition of Bloody Tears would sound like if it was in this game. I doubt it is, but, you know, wouldn't hurt to see that. It'd be cool. I do like the music in this game, though. It's very good. But, I mean, it's Castlevania, so of course it would be. I've yet to encounter a Castlevania game where I didn't... Actually, no. Scratch that. I didn't care for the soundtrack of Harmony of Dissonance. Not because... I don't know, if I heard the music maybe in a different rendition, I would feel differently. But, and this is a major but here, can I? No. But, and this is a major but here, the issue that I had with the, what the fuck? Julius can just do an uppercut? All right. The issue that Harmony of Dissonance had, according to what I remember, is that the soundtrack for that game, like there were tracks that were good, but the quality of the tracks themselves, like the sound samples and everything, were so ear-gratingly bad. Like genuinely, they hurt my ears after a while to listen to because of the sound's quality as opposed to the actual piece of music, I guess. So if I heard it through better MIDI quality, then maybe that would have been it. Because MIDI quality music can really be hit or miss depending on how you go about it. I'm a Dragon Quest fan, so I know that pain very, very well. So yeah, if your MIDI samples are not good and you have a less than stellar selection of that, then you're gonna end up with some pretty shit sounding music in that particular rendition. If you go for a more orchestrated rendition or just better MIDI quality music, that ends up not being the case. But that's not the case with Dragon Quest, I remember that much, because when what I mean by that is, so when Dragon Quest XI first released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox, I think, and PC back in the day, it did not have all of the features that the definitive edition that you can play now currently has. Instead, what it had was good graphical quality, but some really bad MIDI music. And I mean some genuine butt trumpet kind of music. Like the kind of music that genuinely sounds like somebody is farting into a trumpet. So That's what I mean when I say that MIDI tracks can be good. However, you have to really do them well, because otherwise people will be like, God, please make this stop, even if, you know, the song itself isn't bad. It's just the method of which that it's being sounded that is not good. Am I making sense? Also, we have an ad starting in a few seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on BRB. So use this time to get yourself a drink, get yourself stretched, stretch your backs, stretch your legs, use the restroom if you need to, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right, I'm gonna plug in my phone real quick and then we can keep going. Yeah, so far Julius mode is fun. Just a fun little extra mode where we get to play as a Belmont that, honestly, I wish we could get to see more of. again, like, everybody, I remember one thing that a lot of people really want as a potential Castlevania game is a game where we play as Julius during the 1999 battle against Dracula. Because for those that don't know the full story of that, Julius was a part of a attack on Dracula's castle in 1999. And in that 1999 attack, Julius, I think, vanquished Dracula, but for some reason he got lost in the castle when it had crumbled, and he lost his memory. So he, you know, wandered around the castle for a bit, having amnesia. Then Soma comes along and he's like, "Hey, you seem neat." And Julius is like, "Yes, I might be. What? Why am I remembering things?" And then suddenly he remembers that he's Julius. So yeah, I don't know how I would entirely feel about the idea of playing a prequel Castlevania game. If it were to happen, I'm of the mind that it would have to be done in the classic Castlevania style, not a Metroidvania, because I'm not to say that a Metroidvania version of Julius's 1999 story couldn't work, but I would say that maybe it would be odd to pull off structurally. So I don't know, like, I feel like it could work, but it'd have to be done in a particular way, I think. If anything, I'd rather just have a full-on new Castlevania adventure with a different Belmont or a different main character, and maybe do a Soma sequel, but it's hard to really say because, you know, Castlevania is just not getting anything new as far as attention from Konami for games. For anything related to Castlevania, not game-wise though, it's been getting a lot. You know, I mentioned earlier, but the Netflix series has done real wonders in exposing people to the world of Castlevania. And while there have been cases of people who have really not liked what the Castlevania series has done to the characters, I really enjoy them, but having heard some of the criticisms that people spark towards the 4 seasons of Castlevania and Nocturne, I can agree I can see where people are coming from. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, the general criticism that I usually see when it comes to people discussing Castlevania is the fact that the writing at points really comes off as very MCU quippy. And if you have seen most writing in American-based media over the past few years, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of writing that's very heavy on the idea of undercutting sincere moments for the sake of characters being snarky or funny or just trying to make fun of a situation because, God forbid, any kind of sincere, heart-wrenching moments or moments where something goofy is on screen but people have to take it seriously sticks. And yeah, I get it. You know, I don't like that writing as much as anyone else does, but I feel like Castlevania's case is a little different because, for one, any of the snark that comes up that, you know, understandably undercuts moments that would be sincere are nowhere near as egregious as some of the worst cases out there. And the snark, at the least in context, makes a lot of sense. And Castlevania at least knows when to be sincere and not ever undercut the moments. I think of the moment in particular in Nocturne where Just and Richter are talking by that lake, and at no point during Just's conversation with Richter does Richter ever retort in any kind of snarky manner. No, instead he just sits there and he's whimpering because he ran away from the fight with Dultra, I think her name was, and you know, he's feeling ashamed, and it's good. It's a good moment. And then let's see, what other moments? There was the moment where Trevor and Sypha and Alucard are hanging out in the Belmont estate, and they're just kind of discussing their feelings. about, you know, having to be the ones to confront Dracula, as Alucard is trying to research into figuring out how to drag Dracula's castle over to the Belmont estate so they can fight him. So I get where people are coming from by saying that they don't like the writing in the series, or that they may have done some interpretations of the characters that people are not the biggest fans of. I see that. I can see why people say that, especially since it is a storied franchise that has a lot of lore and other ways that the characters have been portrayed. Because Richter in... Oh, I can destroy them with my whip. Oh my god. I did not know I could do that. Richter's portrayal in prior Castlevania games has, if anything, been a lot more about him being more shonen protagonist-y as opposed to, you know, his version in Nocturne where he is a snarky dick. And that may not have been people's favorite way to interpret his character. And I get that, I do, I really do, because you get attached to a way that a character is portrayed in some media, and it's not to say that any new version could be necessarily bad, but just the version that they end up with is not one that they would have picked or what they would have liked. So, yeah, I'm just of the mind that it's not, like, could the snark have been laid off in certain scenes? Yes, but we've seen how egregiously unfun some of the snark can be when it comes to certain characters and how they interact with the world around them. And I will say that Castlevania's is definitely not the worst that's out there. So that's my opinion. I get it, but I'm not gonna say that Castlevania in general should be damned for having this kind of writing style. But I won't praise it, but I won't say it's the worst thing in the world, you know? Because I even asked a friend of mine who also really likes Castlevania, and she just gives the opinion that, yeah, it's not the worst version of that. It's not the worst of that kind of snark style writing that we've seen, and for certain characters, they kind of benefit from the different ways that they have interpreted their character and made them almost entirely separate from their origins. Isaac, for instance, in the Netflix series is worlds different versus his original counterpart in Legacy of Darkness, and some would say to the extreme benefit, because Isaac is genuinely one of the best parts of that original Castlevania series. Just his character in that Netflix series just evolved to an extent that is so well done and executed. And I applaud the team for doing that for Isaac. It was just, oh, you got to see it for yourself to know what I mean, but it's just outstandingly good stuff. Does Yoko need to level up separately? No. So that's my thoughts on that. Just, if they decide to do other Castlevania-based stuff in the future, I hope they at least see some of the criticisms about the snark and maybe lay off it a little bit, because snark is fine in limited quantities, and even then maybe just level it out to the point of not really needing to be there. Because I remember a particular fear of One Piece when the live action series was announced. Like, that first trailer that showed off One Piece was not a good first impression for a lot of people, because it had that very snarky MCU writing. It had that moment in the courtyard where Luffy's saying, like, oh, all the best fighters call out their finishing moves, and Zoro just goes like, no, they don't. And thankfully, again, that's limited to Zoro and Nami as far as how the snark is gone. And, you know, while it would have been ideal to not have snark, period, having it to those two characters and then just be more or less erased as the seasons go on is the real ideal way to go about it. However, with Nocturne Season 2's trailer coming out, people feel that maybe... I've seen people say, like, yeah, it seems they just cannot get rid of the snark. The snark is just attached to the series like a fucking remora to a shark. And... yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, it's not a style of writing that people really like, and maybe these interpretations of Alucard, of Richter, of Maria just aren't what people are looking for. It's just not what they really like in this. But again, I will state the case that it could have been worse. It could have been much, much worse, but it could have been better. So that's my opinion. Can I just hop up on that? Okay, I don't have to do that whole thing. Sweet. All right, so we found that. So now I know where to go next. But first, we have a boss to fight back there. Because, like, I don't expect them to change up a lot of characters too much in future seasons if they take a lot of the criticism and feedback of the seasons to heart. Because for the most part, they tend to keep to some of the characters, true to some of the characters, for the ones that had characters to really portray from. Because we gotta remember, the first Castlevania Netflix series was based on an NES game, and characterization in NES games was very few and far between. So I don't blame them for wanting to really do some different stuff with Trevor, Sypha, and Alucard. Actually, well, less so on Alucard's part, considering Alucard, you know, had Symphony of the Night to characterize him a bit. But for Trevor and Sypha, like, Sypha's game appearances were really sparse, and Trevor had been in one of the PS2 games, but who looks to PS2 Trevor for a character inspiration? And you could also say, like, well, what about Castlevania Judgment? What about Castlevania Judgment? What about that fighting game on the Wii that gave us BDSM Light Yagami? So, yeah, I'm just of the mind that I'll watch whatever they do, because they have done really good jobs at showing Castlevania to new audiences and doing, I'd say, okay jobs at making the characters likable. I mean, shit, they gave us Olrox. They gave us a version of Olrox that people universally love, as far as I know. Like, come on. I can say they do their jobs well. And if nothing else, if the writing doesn't end up being your thing, then at the very least, the spectacle of Castlevania will always be there too, because if there's anything else Powerhouse Animations has proven with the Netflix series, is that they are really, really good at animation and exceptional at fight scenes. Ah. See, this is why I find lack of healing items to be a bit rough. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making... I don't know how much sense I'm really making on this, but... It's not letting me... How do I... Julius mode. Oh, wait, hold on. Game start. I have to select the data. There we go. That's it. Sorry, I got confused for a second. That was to start a new Julius mode, and I did not mean to say that. Alright, we'll change... to Yoko. Oh, she does a little kick. She kicks up a little bit when... Ow! How am I supposed to... Yeah, I don't plan on finishing this mode today, because I don't plan on coming back to this. I'm just checking this out for fun. Make as much progress as I can by about the 3-hour mark, and then I'll stop for the night. That's my idea. I just want to see this and try and give Julius a go. And I'm having fun with this. It's just this boss in particular, because he takes up so much of the damn screen. It's a bit rough. Oh, come on. Really, the startup, he's not invincible. Okay. I see. You know what? I may... Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. Maybe I'm underleveled for this. I mean, this is the fight that you gotta go to. Here's a fight you gotta go to get through to get Soma over there past the blocks. Okay, so just being up against this fist here doesn't hurt me. Oh, I'm invincible when changing characters. Oh, that's nice to know, actually. Oh, that's a fun exploit. Ow. There we go. Got him. Now, can I finally see what's to the left? No. All right, well, that's done. Not a really necessary fight, considering I can do this already, but you know what? I'm okay with fighting that. It was experience. All right. Yeah, it's just, when I saw that Castlevania stuff earlier, it just got me thinking about what my opinions of the show were, and, you know, how I feel about the writing, how I feel about the way they've done the characters, and how my opinion of it may change if, you know, Nocturne Season 2 turns out to still have some of the same flaws that I may now be aware of, considering what others have said. And in the end, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy them because I do like some of the stuff they've done with the characters. I love the action scenes because, you know, the action scenes are dope as fuck. And I will still stand by that. Genuinely, what they did for Dracula was one of the best interpretations of the character in almost any version of Dracula that's existed. And I mean that. Not just in Castlevania, I mean period. Like, I still think about the ending of Season 2 of the Netflix series a lot, because it was just this well-done moment. And if anything, I find the flaws of the writing for Seasons 3 and 4 to feel like what's the best way to put this? You ever encounter a series that feels like it could have ended at a really good point, and then it just kept going because it felt like it needed to keep some stuff to... It felt like it needed to just keep going to satisfy for something. I felt that for Castlevania Season 3 and 4. While they were good, it just felt like after Season 2, they really peaked with how Castlevania could have gone. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how you feel. I like the whipped angle move. It's a good attack. It's a goofy attack, and I think it's fun. All right, we'll save here. All right. Yeah, my general deal about it is if it's just going to depend on how things go for the writing and the manner in which they do characters going forward, because what sparked the whole thing, as I said, was I was on Blue Sky and somebody had talked about the season 2 trailer of Nocturne, since that had just recently dropped, and I saw somebody say, and I quote, or not and I quote, what they essentially said was that they are not ready for the day that they ruin Shanoa. And for one thing, I don't know if whether or not they would do Shanoa's story next for Order of Ecclesia, because considering we go from Castlevania 3 to Castlevania Nocturne to potentially I feel like potentially the next one that would be on the docket is the Sorrow duology, since, you know, Alucard is in there, and Alucard is kind of the main thoroughfare character of the series since he has a really long lifespan. That's just how I feel. I feel like the Sorrow duology would be next. And then I was like, wait, what do they mean ruin? And reading up on some more opinions about it, on the writing of the Netflix series and people's opinions about how the characters were done, I don't know. It just got me to thinking, like, yeah, I'll admit there were some moments with characters that I didn't really care for, but I still overall liked it. And that's just kind of it. If you liked it, and if you still found some enjoyment in the characters, then, you know, that's that. You enjoy what you enjoy, and that's it. I think maybe the only character that I would say I wasn't the biggest fan of was Hector at some points. Well, no. Yeah, I'd say Hector. Hector just messed up at some points, and Hector messed up at a lot of points that he honestly should have been wiser about in certain circumstances, but I don't know. Every character's situation for the most part made sense. It's just there were some no, I know the exact thing in Castlevania I know I didn't like, and it was just this moment in season 3 towards the very end of it that just left a really bad taste in my mouth, you know? Like, you ever encounter an ending to a season that felt like, how do I put this? It felt like it was trying to pull a sad ending for like a super sad dour ending for the sake of having a sad dour ending. That's what season 3 of Castlevania was like. And that's why if I were ever to rank any of the seasons, this is how I do it. I would go season 3 at the bottom, season 4 after season 3, because while it was a fine enough conclusion, I still felt like it more or less faced the same problem that season 3 had, of just feeling like it was an afterthought versus the conclusion of season 2. Then after Season 4, it's Season 1, although I would probably say Season 4 and 1 are more tied for me, if anything, because Season 4 and Season 1 both kind of share some structural things that I'm not the biggest fan of. So I'd say they're more tied, but Season 2 of Castlevania, that is peak Castlevania. That is just that ending to Season 2, the manner in which the characters were able to have these dynamics with each other and were portrayed, it was just stellar from start to finish. No notes on that one, so yeah, that's my ranking. And Nocturne, I would say at this point is currently on the same level as Seasons 4 and 1. Because at some points I felt like Nocturne felt like it was trying to go too fast. Because at the current point of Season 2, it felt like it was trying to move its story too quickly. You know? That's my flaw that I see with Nocturne Season 1. It's just that the pace felt like it was trying to get towards the cool stuff that it wanted really quickly instead of letting moments breathe. And it did let some moments breathe, just I'd say it probably could have used a bit more breathing room, if that makes sense. I could really... There is a save room down there, but goddamn, it is not kind to me. If I touch that skull, will it still hurt me? No, okay. I didn't know if the devs would have been mean and done that. It feels like the kind of joke they would pull, you know? Okay, this middle room I know is a boss fight. Fucking barrels. There we go. No healing items suck so much. I thought I was out of range. Nope. God damn it. Fuck it. Just jump over. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're almost at the save point. Ah! Une! Okay. Save, because we just went through a lot there. All right. Yeah, I also would understand that maybe if after Castlevania Nocturne is over, that Powerhouse may want to do other projects that aren't Castlevania related, which I would completely, that would be fine by me, because you never really want to be known as just the one thing for some studios. It's always good to branch out into different stories and ideas. And if they end up doing a lot more, I mentioned this before, but if they did other video game projects in the future, I would be down for that completely. And after some thought, I had decided on which one I would really love for them to tackle next if they could. I mentioned before that I would have wanted to see a animated series based on Pyre, the game by Supergiant. And while Pyre would be cool, I thought on it more and I was like, oh, that narrative depends a lot on player choice regarding the characters that you free from exile and also the player being directly referred to, you know, because this nature of the storytelling in that is more second person. It's referring to the player directly. But if they wanted to, say, do one of their other games that's more third person story focused, like Bastion or Transistor, then I'd be more intrigued. Probably Transistor more, considering that there's more of a dialogue with the characters as opposed to Bastion, where it's mostly the narrator talking. But that's my idea. It would be a Bastion or Pyre as the Supergiant game that would get a show. And, you know, and another point would be like, why not Hades? Hades would be rad. I would not deny that. But Hades' story depends so much on the roguelike grind aspect of its gameplay that I don't think making it into a TV series would really match with the kind of way that Hades had told its story originally. Because you gotta remember, in Hades, you have to beat Hades himself 10 times in order for you to get the credits, you know, in order for you to actually have beaten the game. I don't know how they would end up portraying that very thing in an animated series format. The only thing I could think of that they could do is that they make it more of a slice of life kind of thing, or some kind of episodic journey where it's Zagreus going through the underworld in different levels and encountering the different NPCs you can meet, like Sisyphus, Patroclus, Eurydice. But again, that lies more into the roguelike elements of things, and I just don't know how I would feel about that structure for a Hades show. I feel like that would make the pacing a bit odd. Whereas Transistor, on the other hand, is a far more linear, direct narrative that has a clear antagonist to go after and a clear protagonist's goal that's also very clear. So I feel like if there was any of Supergiant's games that would make sense to ever get an animated series, Transistor, without a doubt. And I'm also biased because I really, really like Transistor a lot. I'd say it and Pyre are probably the two of Supergiant's games where their writing is easily the strongest, because they had built whole ass worlds with a real history to them in those games. So I would be interested to see how Powerhouse Animations could adapt Red's moveset into an animated format. You know, because they've proven themselves to be quite good at adapting video game power sets to animation. If Sypha's anyone to go by, that's for certain something I'd be glad to see. So, yeah. Alright, well, we looped around, so let's save and then we can go into the Dark Chapel. And as I said, I'm not going to plan on beating this mode. I'm just planning on giving it a bit of a thorough look through to see how I feel. And so far it feels fine. Again, the only thing that's messing me up is just that I don't have healing items to use for keeping my health up. But I imagine Julius becomes strong enough by the levels that it becomes no real problem for him. I didn't come here until a lot later as Soma, so I'm not, yeah. I think I'm not strong enough for there. Come on. There we go. Yeah, the other thing that threw me off about this game is the fact that we have not encountered a single breakable wall in this. Like, at all. The castle was near completed by the time I had finished everything. So, yeah. The only... Okay, another very minor, in the grand scheme of things, flaw that I found with this game. The fact that apparently they decided to have the fact that they apparently decided, hey, let's make one of the rooms for progression, or let's make one of the rooms that you have to go through to 100% the castle a fucking, like, random slot machine door that you have to get a specific number to pass. Like, yeah, you could increase your luck to get the numbers necessary, but that's dumb, I think. That is kind of dumb. Like, without any kind of clear manipulation, it just feels like you have to really hop out and hop back in just so you can complete the map. I mean, thank God map completion's not part of the requirements necessary to get the best ending, but still, I think that's really dumb. Yeah, I'm supposed to come here next. Ah, there we go. I think that's Bloody Tears. At least I think this is Bloody Tears. Is it? Yeah, this is Bloody Tears. This is a good rendition. God, I love this. That's the good shit. Alright, hold on. I want to go back here and save real quick. Let's take care of that real quick. Because we... Oh shit. I don't know how many other bosses I've got saved up, but there's probably like a couple more I can do. Because there's no Garden of Madness fight, but there's probably a fight in the Subterranean Hell and in the Dark Chapel that I can do. And yeah, like at the 3-hour mark is probably where I'm gonna call it, because I do have to wake up early for something. I have to wake up early for a shift, so unfortunately I cannot dedicate a big evening to finishing Julius Mode 2, as fun as that would be. It's just sad, you know? But it happens. We've got our obligations. We're adults. Interesting to leave Bloody Tears for Dark Chapel. I have to wonder why they decided on that. Oh, that's where I could have gotten a white dragon earlier in the game. Ah. Oh well. God damn it, I fell for it again! Son of a bitch. I fucking fell for it again. Ooh! Get me that time, motherfucker. Ah, God. All right, mirror room again. Okay, so Yoko's deal is that her spells are really good, but she can't rapid fire them like Julius can with his sub-weapons. I see, that's the trade-off. They're really good though, the spells that she can use. Oh, that feels satisfying to do. That is nice. Hey, level up. Let's go past this way. Oh, wait, this was the... Yeah, I remember that one. I have to come at that from the other side. Oh, hello. Right, I forgot about this guy. Okay, Julius can't spam his either. So I guess the difference is that Yoko's spells may be strong against certain enemies because enemies do have elemental weaknesses. And also, the lightning homing spell is quite good. I like that spell quite a bit. What is the point of him doing that uppercut? Like, what is the hitbox, and is it even worth it? Is it, like, what? What is the point of that move? Like, huh? All right, I think to the left here is the save point, right? Yes. Oh, excuse me, I just stretched my back. Oh, this guy. Wow. Ouch. Okay then, I forgot it was Dimitri. Okay then. Ow. Just spam that shit immediately like a bad LARPer. What did he hit me with? Oh, he's copying my sub-weapons. Right. Oh, now this is gonna... Oh, this is gonna be so easy. I was like, what is he hitting me with? It's not that same ball attack. Nope, I'm just... See, that's the funny thing about this guy. He'll copy any power that you use, and if you use a shit power and then just don't use any other powers for the rest of the fight, he's a cakewalk. He's just easy. It's not to say the holy water's bad, it's just bad for him because I know how to avoid it. And that's funny. It'd be a different story if he was using the axe, but yeah, that worked out really well in my favor. Right, it was this guy next. I remember you. There we go. Wow, Yoko obliterated that guy.
Julius?
Absolute obliteration. All right, we'll save here too since we fought that boss. Boss bite. Oh, right. How the fuck am I supposed to get through there? Without the puppet power-up, how the fuck am I supposed to get through there? I have to go backwards somewhere. Maybe I do have to go through subterranean hell. Because Julius does not get any movement upgrades. We're stuck with what he's got for this whole mode. How good is this up close? Okay, so that attack can be done more frequently, but it's got a shorter range and does 2 hits. Good to know. Good to at least get to check out these powers. Okay, so there was a room down there that I didn't fully check, so we'll go back down there real quick. Failing that, we can always go back to Garden of Madness and head up from where I saw earlier with the double jump that I have. I love that you can see little after images of Julius's whip as he's swinging it. Again, applying those principles to animation to pixel art is always fascinating to see. I like nice pixel animation. It's got this mesmerizing look to it, you know? Oh, that's why I couldn't get down there. Okay, well, I only have one avenue forward, and if we can't go that way, then we'll go through subterranean hell. Or as I would like to call it, Florida. Alright, so we'll just go back here. Also, we have an ad starting in 5 minutes, just a heads up. What is the point of this uppercut move? It's not like Richter's uppercut where he just does a full-on shoryuken. No, it's just, he just kind of jumps up and punches. What a weird thing to include for him. Like, genuinely, I don't understand why that's a thing for him. Couldn't just give him Richter's shoulder charge or anything. No, just this. Again, I'm killing all these enemies because I have no real concept over how much it's gonna take for me to level up as Julius in this game. So I'm just fighting to fight. I will say what is nice about this mode is that Julius doesn't seem to be affected by status ailments. That's lovely. But yeah, sure enough, there are elemental weaknesses. Yoko can cover them. She is quite strong. Hey, there's a save point. Another boss fight, all right. Oh, right, Dario. Oh, this is really easy. I say as I get punched twice by fire. I say as I die to fire. He has an easier move set. Hold on. Let's just do that. Let's mulligan that. Let's try that again. Do I want to try Yoko for this? Actually, yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, the cross is better for this, probably. There we go. Dunzo. We win. All right. Let's go save real quick because that did take a bit out of us. And yes. All right, well, we have an ad break starting in a few seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the BRB screen. Take this time to use the restroom, get yourself water, stretch your backs, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. So, now we have another half hour, I'd say, that I could do, and then we'll probably stop soon. All right, continuing on from here, I'd say I'm really enjoying Julius mode a lot more. Like, I dare say I'm kind of liking this a tad more than Soma's initial run in the castle. One, because I'm breezing through a lot of this pretty quickly, and two, honestly, this magic sigil stuff, or the magic seal stuff, has really been such a bad thing to deal with in the boss fights that not having to deal with them at all has been a godsend. It's been nice. Alucard? Oh, so here he just drops the Arikado look. This portrait actually looks okay in this art style. Like, it's a fine art style. It's just going from Ayame Kojima to this was just such a jarring thing for me. You're late, Julius. Arikado? Or should it be Alucard? That doesn't matter. I had to transform to draw out my full power. He's grown so powerful that you have to go that far? Yes. Failure isn't an option. I need your help. That's why I came. You have my trust. Yay! Hold on, what have you got? You've got bat and fireballs. He moves and controls just like in Symphony of the Night. Okay, now I'm really happy. I decided to stay a little longer just to play as him. I'm happy. I'm happy. This is nice. I'm happy. He doesn't have all of his spells, but this is fine. I get to play as Alucard again. Oh my god. You know, this moment really makes me mad that the Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood duology is still stuck on the PlayStation. Because for those that don't know, I don't know how many years ago now, I talked about it before, but Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night got a re-release on the PlayStation Store as a duology alongside Castlevania Dracula X, I think. And it's a good collection, but at this time, it is currently the only way that you can ever really play a modern port of Symphony of the Night. And the other thing is that apparently that version is based on the PSP version, I think, which not everybody's the biggest fan of. Primarily because it gets rid of the bad voice acting from the PS1 original. And it just sucks, you know? It sucks that we are currently in 2024 and we still can't really fully play Symphony of the Night on anything besides PlayStation consoles. And I'm just like, why? Why? It would be so much money if they could do that. If Konami could just be like, hey, Nintendo, hey, Steam, hey, Xbox, would you like Symphony of the Night? I'm confident every one of them would say, fuck yes, we would. So, I don't know. Oh, Alucard has that. Actually, hold on. What does Yoko have in that stead? I'll check in a space that doesn't have as many aerial enemies. Because Julius has a jump. Yoko has a... Yoko I don't know, and Alucard has the super jump. Oh wait! I could use Alucard's bat form to get through the puppet holes! Oh, so I was meant to come up here. Okay. Well shit, I may... Right? No. Yeah, sure enough. Well, I know there's a boss that I can fight here, so I want to go do that. I don't know, part of me actually kind of wants to do a full Julius mode playthrough. Oh, God. Nah, I think I want to get to Portrait of Ruin. I'll save I'll just do this in my own time, but this is really cool. It's essentially just a Metroidvania where you get to play in a similar vein as the Dracula's Curse Castlevania 3 cast. Because, you know, in Castlevania 3 it was Trevor, Sypha, and Alucard and Grant, but nobody fucking cares about Grant. And it's cool that we just kind of get that again, but with Julius, Yoko, and Alucard. That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. This is fucking awesome. I'm so happy. This is really nice. This is fun. All right, there's the guy with the curry. And then we'll just go to the puzzle room. And I'm just using Alucard for this because I like Alucard. Alucard's cool. So yeah, the major drawbacks though, as far as Alucard's spells is concerned, is that this takes a second to load up versus the sub-weapons from Julius and some of Yoko's spells. That's the major downside here. Okay, let's do some rearranging. I did not mean to hit that. And I'm just gonna go straight to the other side of some spots because genuinely, like, because since there's no equipment to acquire for anybody, there's no reason for me to really continue with, you know, finding dead-end rooms in hopes that I find a new sword or a whip or something. Because then that will lead to the other side of the castle entrance there, but I don't really need that, because, again, it's not really necessary. I need to get you... Hold on now. It's not gonna work. Hold on. There we go. Oh, she does a backflip or a back handspring. That's what they're called, right? Where you're able to snap yourself backwards and then spin yourself around on your hands like that. It's a handspring. Yeah, Alucard just also has got more movement options that make him my preferred deal. Though Julius has a lot more range. Yeah, and this was where we're supposed to use the doll power. You know, I have not encountered a Quetzalcoatl enemy here yet, which I'm kind of grateful for, because I hate those guys. Never fucking mind. Me and my big mouth. Just not in the mood to fight that thing at all. Dolls. Okay. Got a warp room, which is good. Not ideal, but perfectly fine for now. Let's head back here and then save. Alright, I'm changing back to Julius because I actually like having his whip range, if I'm being honest. Like, Alucard's stuff is good, but I'm probably going to only use him sparingly. Julius all the way, for a little bit, at least. The whip range is good. The difference between Julius and Alucard's range of attack, though, is just... Julius takes a bit of wind-up but has longer reach, and Alucard's is faster but has shorter reach. So yeah, we have... So I'm guessing what this is supposed to be is the mode that you play post bad ending. So this is Julius, Alucard, and Yoko going up the castle so that they can fight Soma after he had become the Dark Lord. Because what happens in the bad ending is Mina actually dies. So you know that scene earlier in the game where Mina is tied to the cross and Celia is threatening her, and then Celia says, hey, in order to awaken you, we have to make you experience extreme anger. So I will live with you hating me because the Dark Lord will come back. Because your hatred for me is a price I'll pay. And if you don't equip Mina's talisman, Mina dies and then Soma becomes the Dark Lord. If you do equip the talisman, you get the best ending like I got earlier. And if you didn't do all the stuff that I had to do before, the game ends with you fighting Dario, and that's the neutral ending. So this is supposed to be post-bad ending. I was invincible for that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I forgot about the Iron Maidens. Oops. No, you don't. Ow! There we go. First try. Cool. All right, we did that. So then next, since we got Alucard, we can go through some areas now that we couldn't before. There was that tiny door over near the Dark Chapel. There's that upper part of this guest house area is not accessible unless it's by a shortcut, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't really know. So I imagine this whole idea is that we're supposed to level up Alucard, Julius, and Yoko to get them prepared to fight Soma in his full power as the Dark Lord, but I don't know what the appropriate level is. That's the other reason why, as fun as this mode is, I don't see myself going through it fully, because I imagine Soma will be a really, really hard fight. So, yeah. Alright, and that's not, that's the shortcut that I couldn't get to before. And the doll room up there is supposed to take me to that big Colosseum looking spot. Actually, no, that's a good place to go. Yeah, I mentioned the art style earlier. It's just, I don't know, when you go from Ayame Kojima having these characters designed and really well made because Ayame Kojima's art style is just so amazing, and you go to this and it's like, it's very jarring of an art style change, you know? Like, not bad. It's not a bad art style, far from it. It's just really weird. But the characters do look good, if a bit too 2000s anime, and I think that's the reason. It looks too much like a 2000s anime, and that is part of the reason why people are like, oh god, why they change it to that, you know? Alright, change to Alucard. Can I attack in bat form? No. I can do this though. I find it funny that even in Alucard's bat form, he just still has a sword with him. I just think that idea is funny. Because like, could he do that? Could he swing a sword in bat form? Could he just like carry the sword in his mouth? Do a little bat mouth attack? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you could attack in the bat form in Symphony of the Night, right? You could shoot fireballs, I think, but I may be misremembering or something. I have no idea. There we go. Thought I could do something there. Condemned Tower, that's it. I think we may stop after the fight here at the tower. I think that's a good place to go. I think that's a good place to stop. Get a good chunk of the bosses out of the way, and, you know, if I wanted to continue this in my own time, I could. Yeah, I do like this mode though. It's pretty nice. Just a nice little run through of the castle in a faster format because you're playing as characters that have a bit more power to them and don't have to worry about going back for equipment or healing items. For better and for worse, I would say that the lack of healing items is kind of a detriment for my part, but maybe that speaks to my abilities as a player with relying on them so much. God, God damn these knights. Woo. Nope, don't want that. There. Got you, little shit. There we go. Ha, no werewolf. Ha 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 ha, yeah. God, I love getting to do that. Just, if you're annoyed by an enemy, just skip them. Love doing that shit. It's fucking great. Now, I could really use a save point, though, because we are... Woo, we're hurting. Please? Eh. Let's go back down here, then. There. Okay, save point here, and we'll fight the boss. And after we beat the boss, that'll be a point where we can stop. Because we are going for about 3 hours or so, and as I said, I have to get up early, unfortunately. Can't stay up too late now. How fucking strong are her heels that she can do that much damage? Really? Good thing I saved. Hold on. Would Alucard be better for this? Oh shit. It farted on me. It farted on me and killed me. Wrong goddamn thing again. Hold on. There we go. It is nice that you can just do that. I like getting to do that. That's good. Let's go with the cross. How am I supposed to avoid that? Do I just jump? I literally died right as the second phase was about to happen. God damn it, hold on. I know we can do it. See if I can exploit this a little bit. Because the problem is that I can get attacked because Julius is so tall and this enemy just hits so low. I don't know how I'm supposed to avoid that. Like, am I supposed to be just right up against its leg? Maybe I change to Alucard and just change to the bat form. It's such an enclosed space. How am I supposed to win? The problem is we're so enclosed. I'm not really getting how I'm supposed to do this. I mean, I'm invulnerable switching characters, but the issue is the arena is too small, and I have no healing items, so I'm not really getting what I'm supposed to do here. It's like you either take 63 or 200. There's no way to dodge that. Wrong file again. There. That's the only way I can see myself avoiding that attack. That might be the intention, actually. Because he's small enough as a bat to go into that corner. So I'll just stay Alucard the whole time then. Fuck it. Ah, shit. Well, okay, see, I just thought he was winding up for the big suck. So, oops. All right, let's change you back to Alucard again. Yeah, I think all Alucard all the time on this fight. Bitch. Or I could just double jump into the corner at the last second like that, but... Yeah, fundamentally, like, everybody's too tall. Everybody's too tall. And Alucard's range is too short, so... No, I think Julius has to be it, right? It's my guess. Oh, I can just go up against the wall then. All right. Wish I knew that earlier. Ah, God damn it. Yeah, I think this might be a wash. This, like, there's a way to do this fight. I know there is, but... we're at the 3-hour mark, and I'll give it like 2 more tries, but I think I might stop after that. We gave this a good fair look at, I'd say, and it's fun. I'm just having issues with this fight because I don't know how much taller the sprites for Julius, Yoko, and Alucard are versus Soma, but I mean, y'all are seeing this. This is a very small space to fight this guy. Goddamn Switch Pro Controller of D-pad, you suck. No. I refuse to accept that hit. We're almost there. We're basically almost to the fight, to the end of the fight. How am I supposed to... Nope. Oh, she takes more damage. Interesting. Ah, hold on, I was too close there. Oh, wrong button. Nope, bad situation there. There! Fuck this guy! Holy shit. Whew. I would say that I feel justified in rewinding on this one because, as I said, this arena is just too damn small. All right, well, let's go save, and then that's where we'll end it for the night, which I feel fine about. I'm getting a bit tired, and you know, as I mentioned, I've got to wake up early tomorrow for something. But I had a lot of fun. We finally beat Dawn of Sorrow, and we got to check out the Julius mode, and yeah, this is really cool. I like this, that we're just getting the Castlevania 3 feeling, but in a Metroidvania format. I think that's really neat. But I'm not going to be returning to this, though, on stream, because our next venture into Castlevania for this Metroidvania revisit that I get to do, thanks to this Dominus collection, is Portrait of Ruin. Now, of the DS Castlevania games, this is the one that I have no experience with in any capacity. So, this will be entirely new for me, which I'm excited for. You know, I haven't heard any kind of buzz about it, positive or negative, so yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. I'm excited to give it a try. I'm liking this intro, and it seems we have 2 protagonists, and yeah, it seems like it might be another feather in the Metroidvania cap. Ooh, we got twins. I like the 3D model look for this. It's kind of reminding me of a, what is it reminding me of? I don't know. I like it, though. It's really cool. So yeah, Portrait of Ruin is next on the docket for our Castlevania Dominus Collection visit. So yeah, if you want to see when I go live with this, though, as well as with other streams, be sure to follow my socials. I usually post when my schedules are and when I go live next for those. For VOD watchers, just letting you know where you can find me. I also post on YouTube for those as well, so if you're following my community page on YouTube, you can see when I usually have my schedules and streams ready. So yeah. And yeah, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Sorry, this kind of a scattered energy for this stream. It's just, I genuinely was at the tail end of Dawn of Sorrow. I just had a genuine rock and a hard place problem of not having healing items and most likely being underleveled and under-equipped for the fight against Abaddon. But we did it, we fought him, we won, and we got to try Julius mode out for a little bit, which I'm glad for. I'm glad I got to give it a go. So, yeah. With that said, take care of yourselves, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening or whatever time zone you're seeing this in. Stay hydrated, keep your postures checked, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you, VOD heads. Bye.